If you ever hike in the Watchung Mountains of New Jersey, there's a place locals whisper about, an abandoned quarry ledge with jagged rock like broken teeth. They call it the Devil's Teeth. And in 1972, something ended up there that should never have been there. The remains of a 16-year-old girl named Jeannette DePalma. Her death is still unsolved. And the way she was found turned her hometown into a furnace of fear. Jeannette Christine DePalma was born on August 3, 1956, and lived with her family on Clearview Road in Springfield Township, Union County, New Jersey. By the summer of 1972, she was 16, an age balanced between childhood and the adult world that was starting to tug at her sleeves. On the afternoon of Monday, August 7, 1972, Jeannette left home and told her mother she was going to take a train to a friend's house. Then she vanished. When she didn't arrive and didn't come home that night, her parents went to the Springfield Police Department and filed a missing person report the next day. Days became a week, then weeks. Summer heat thickened the air and the search turned quieter, less frantic, more hopeless. In towns like Springfield, rumors move faster than patrol cars. People talk. People speculate. And when there's no answer, they invent one. 6 weeks later, at September 19, 1972, the nightmare returned in the most grotesque way possible. A local dog came back to its owner carrying something that didn't belong in any animal's mouth, a decomposing forearm and hand. That gruesome discovery led searchers into the woods above Springfield's Hudile Quarry to the cliff locals already feared. Up there on that ledge, they found what was left of Jeannette. Her remains had been exposed to the elements long enough that the autopsy struggled to speak clearly. But the scene, what witnesses thought they saw, ignited panic. Some accounts claimed there were strange objects nearby, even ritual symbols. Others described a coffin-like outline of fallen branches and logs. Over time, the story mutated into something darker, talk of pentagrams, animal remains, and satanic sacrifice. And the media didn't calm anyone down. Newspapers and locals began pushing a terrifying narrative that Jeannette had been taken by a coven, sacrificed in the woods. The idea spread so hard it practically became a second crime scene, one made of fear instead of evidence. A pastor named James Tate, connected to the DePalma family's church, publicly suggested occult involvement, helping drive the witchcraft panic through Union County. But investigators faced a brutal reality. The autopsy could not reveal a definitive cause of death. There were no obvious signs of gunshots or stabbing in the remains, and no clear evidence of a drug overdose at the scene. Still, the case was treated as a homicide, and the coroner suspected strangulation, a quiet, intimate kind of violence that requires someone to be close enough to feel a victim's last breath. There was a lead early on, rumors of a homeless man living in the woods near the quarry known as Red, who allegedly fled after Jeannette disappeared. It sounded promising, the kind of detail people cling to. But the prosecutor's office ultimately determined Red had nothing to do with it. The case began to cool, not because people stopped caring, but because nothing solid could be pinned down. Years later, the mystery only deepened. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Weird NJ resurrected the case after receiving letters from readers who grew up around Union County, people who remembered the fear and the whispers and the way the story seemed to vanish from headlines almost as quickly as it appeared. Weird NJ reported that Springfield police claimed the case file had been lost in flooding from Hurricane Floyd in 1999, another detail that fueled suspicion and anger. But then came a jarring update. After obtaining portions of the case file and reviewing crime scene photographs, Weird NJ stated in an update that they were confident there was no occult activity at the scene. No arranged crosses, no altar, no animal sacrifices as long rumored. Just a dead girl in an overgrown patch of woods, and decades of myth piled on top of her. Weird NJ also reported that evidence lists showed the contents of Jeannette's purse dumped near the remains, items like tissues, makeup, and small personal effects. Yet the purse itself was missing. So was her cross necklace, widely reported as absent. If that's true, it suggests something chilling. Someone may have taken trophies, souvenirs, proof that they were there. That's the horrific reality of the Jeannette DePalma mystery. The scariest part may not be the supernatural rumors. It may be the ordinary human violence behind it, still faceless after all these years. A 16-year-old leaves home in Springfield Township in 1972 and never comes back. Her remains are found on a cliff called the Devil's Teeth. The cause is suspected strangulation. The case goes cold, and the truth, whatever it is, stays buried in the woods. Somewhere, someone knows what happened on that August day, and until that person speaks, the Devil's Teeth will keep it secret.